Howdy everyone. It's now just about 5:30 in the morning and I've done a few videos thus far this evening. And what I would like to do now is one that I'm sure over time will be added to and I'm sure will be renamed in the end as part one. But I would like to enlighten you as to why I am a Freemason and why I am a proud Freemason and what that means and what that means to me. This is a keychain I have. I'm trying to get a decent view here for you. It's you really can't see it. I've got pictures posted of it online in my various platforms of Facebook as well as LinkedIn and Twitter. But this is a keychain that I have. It is the ancient arms of Kovac. My last name, Kovacs, is the original spelling of my family. It's Slavic, and that comes my family on my father's side originating in the locations of Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and Romania and things like that. On my father's side, my grandmother's family, they were of the wealthiest in Pennsylvania and the East Coast and so on, right? At the turn of the century, in the early days of Shriner, I have my ancestry that were, Freemason as well as Shriners. And Shriners is something that I've mentioned in various episodes as well as online that I am just really excited to become a Shriner so that I can help children and be the Grand Rabbit, the Easter Bunny for these children. Easter, a very religious holiday. And I do love children. I don't have any, but, in the wise words of Whitney Houston, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. So I consider myself to be a very proud Freemason because not only am I making my ancestors that were Mason and Shriners proud by being a Mason and doing this show here to educate even those that are not Masonic or whatever be, even with all the haters, whatever. I'm trying to educate you as to what we learn and why we consider ourselves to be proud Freemason. And you come to know and understand that it is a path in life, it is a better quality of life to walk a God realized life. And that means to, you know, be a better person and do as God would do, and not just be a typical human. Because the typical humans, like I've said in other episodes, they'll slam you down and, put you down, and it's okay. A typical human will make comments of like, oh, dude, you're being retarded, or like, dude, you're just stupid, where when you're a Mason, you learn to live a better life, to let go of, superfluities and blah, blah, blah. But you, I consider Masonry, like the world's largest, not only the oldest, fraternity in the world, but I consider it as like the world's largest charity organization in the world. And it's not only for the betterment of mankind, but it's for your communities and even things in charity that you have no part of. Like, I have nothing to do personally with helping out or volunteering or whatever when it comes to the Special Olympics that are held every year. But my lodge, as well as all the lodges, we do donate to things like the Special Olympics and you know the Shriners Hospitals for Children, because that's what they're all about. And it's Masonic, but things that aren't even Masonic. Like, we also have Masons, or mitts for Masons, and that's where every year you donate money to getting children in your communities baseball gloves, and they come with the Masonic square and compass on them, and it's to help your community, and you really do a lot of charity, so that's the type of people we are. And you come to realize that this has always been in your heart long before you were ever a Mason, that you are a good person wanting to live a decent life, and so it's like you're always a Mason. Now, there is no one face for Freemasonry. I kind of think that's wrong and incorrect. And it's no offense to my brothers or craft, period. What I would like to do is tell you why I feel that's wrong. Um, let's say, for example, that you wish to become a Mason, or you wish to go and see what it's about, or you have questions or anything. When you walk into a lodge, sorry, I've had a painkiller, I'm a little itchy. When you walk into a lodge, you are the face of Freemasonry at that given point in time for somebody, and they look to you for answers, and to see what kind of a person you are. And that's why we always live on our best behaviors, and trying to always do the right thing, and what would God do versus what would Satan do. And I use that name for a reason, because a lot of people think that Freemasonry is really evil. And I've had people comment to me on Twitter, as well as other websites. But on Twitter, I've had people, like this one person was saying, oh, even Satanists, do charity. Really? Show me one. Give me an example. Show me someone that identifies themselves as a Satanist who goes about doing charity and charitable deeds for not only themselves and their family, but for their communities and throughout the entire world. Show me, prove it to me, because that doesn't exist. Now, when it comes to my own personal ancestry, like I said, I'm making my family proud by carrying on a tradition of being a better person and wanting to do good for mankind. And, not just my family and, some of my friends, but for the whole community, and communities throughout, and places that I've never even been, and people I may never even meet, along the way in my life, and things like helping out with homelessness and various illnesses and so on, diseases, whatever. Um, we do a lot of charity, and that makes me really proud. It makes me proud to be a Mason because I'm really trying to help with mankind. And that's what being a Mason is all about, is trying to help with the betterment of mankind. Um, it is not about yourself, it's about others. And that's what living a God realized life is helping with other people and not just yourself. Um, you know, things like the expressions of like, oh, somebody's always got it worse. Well, as a Mason, you don't just acknowledge that, oh, somebody's got it worse. You actually try to help them and, take someone else out of a dark period in time, when it comes to their mentality or their current situations, like helping out with a brother who's just lost his house in a fire or something, for an example, right? Or helping with school systems and, getting the books and supplies that they need, and, helping with Special Olympics and, the children that are in, hospitals like the Shriners Hospitals for Children. And hopefully along the way we can have those all over the planet and a ton of them. And that is like St. Jude's, because St. Jude was founded by, Dave Thomas, who was a Freemason, and we're all proud Freemasons. But you can have like an illness as a child and, disease or whatever, right? Um, you can have something wrong with you, like cleft palates or whatever, and you can have these fixed, and, if you have to travel to your nearest hospital for children, the Shriners, or even a St. Jude's, you and your family can stay there and get the, while your child is in the hospital, you can spend the night with them, that kind of a deal, right? So that they're not alone. And all of the care that you receive, or your children receive, like let's just say I used the example of a cleft palate. There's a hospital specializing in that to help, fix them. That's really expensive. Like just for a cleft palate alone, dude, is really expensive. And like people that need to learn how to walk again with, getting a prosthetic arm or leg or something, that's really expensive. So we do all kinds of charity works, and helping out with children is very important, to our whole entire planet of people, let alone some of the people that we may know that need stuff done, and they can afford it, So it really is about being a better person and helping mankind and helping children and charity. That's really what Freemasonry is charity. And if you like to fight for causes and things like that, being a Mason is one of the greatest things you can ever do. Um, because it's like when you are helping others, you get this elation within you, this sense of pride, that you've done something good for someone. And it's not about making yourself feel better, but you really can't help but to feel better for what you've done for somebody else. And, helping someone is, it's not just like something that the Masons do, it's something that God would do. It's something that good people would do. So I urge all of you to take a look at, a Masonic timeline. We've helped from, the financial institutions and, to children's schools and, with hospitals and all kinds of good stuff. And some of the most brilliant minds of our time, of human race existence, excuse me, some of the most brilliant men that have ever walked the face of the earth, they're my brothers. So I feel a sense of connection to, I'll give you examples like Ernest Holmes, Ernest Sherlock Holmes, one of the great, writers, and like when it comes to me with music, Mozart, and my love, my Beethoven, they were Masons. And, there's tons of people throughout history, that are like, whoa, dude, your brain is amazing. And I have a sense of connection with them, a brotherhood, a fraternal tie with these people. There's all kinds of famous actors because I'm an actor, and I can look at my own field and, see throughout history, even like, Western movies and, or whatever, like John Wayne and, Laurel and Hardy, and, a couple of the Marx Brothers. And I love the Marx Brothers, they're awesome. Um, like, it really is an amazing gift, Freemasonry is to mankind because of all that we do for people. And I'm proud of that. Not only making my ancestors proud, and I'll try and show you again this is my family crest, you know what I mean? Those are my ancestors. Um, but I'm proud of the connections to some of the greatest minds of our time. Um, I'm proud of what we do. I'm proud to be a Mason and be a Freemason for the rest of my life is something that I will always want to do. And I don't care what anybody says, like, oh, you don't know anything until you get way up, or, oh, you're being used as a pawn or something, and they have a hidden agenda or whatever. Dude, it's not like that. Like, get real. And if all you want to do is slam, go for it, man. But, if you have questions, don't pose a question in the form of a slam. Really take the time to write it out as to what you're wanting to ask or learn. And through this series alone, you are going to learn all of what we know, so that you can know and understand why we're Freemasons and what we're about and what we learn. Because I feel that, especially for those that are out there trying to make slams on us, um, you need to know what we know and what we learn and so on in order to make a better slam. Am I right? Yes. So, the more educated you can become, the better your slam will be. So go ahead and watch all these videos that I have here, these episodes within God Bless Freemasonry, and then educate yourself with the knowledge contained within my show. And if you still, at the end, let's say I finish this series 2 years from now, who knows, right? But let's just say, for an example, this series comes to its end in like 2 years or three, whatever you want to say, right? If you are watching all of these episodes and you still want to make a slam, I'm gonna laugh at you. Not with you, at you. And there's a big difference. So, these are some of the things on why I'm a proud Freemason and why I'm a Freemason. I will also do another episode as to how I became and what transpired in my becoming and desire to become a Freemason, because that's a story on its own. It's a story for another episode. So, I hope all of you are having a wonderful day today or evening. Namaste. And like I've said before in previous episodes, please look up the definition to namaste if you don't want to listen to me and read for yourself. And that is not just I bow to you, there's a whole lot more into it. It is, any light and love and truth and honesty and all the goodness that I could ever hope for myself and my family. And, I can see that within you. I can see God within you. I can see, your desire for goodness and so on. And that's what that is. Teach somebody that word. Teach somebody all of the things that you learn within my series. Enlighten others because it makes you feel good when you can educate people, especially with good things versus bad things. You know what I mean? So, I am a proud Freemason, and I will always be. My goal, when I can afford to, because I've been pretty knocked down lately, financially and everything, whatever, dude. Along the way, I wish to have my lifetime membership. Now, I don't know if all of Freemasonry, all over where we have Freemasonry in the world, because there's only a few places in the world that don't allow Freemasonry, which is wrong. But I don't know if they all have, the possibility of getting your gold card, your lifetime membership. But for me, as a California Mason, California, USA, we do have your lifetime membership, and it's pretty expensive, dude. I wish to be a member for the rest of my life, a lifetime member. And I wish to also have, a honorary membership in not only the 13 places that will do such a thing for me, but I would like to be an honorary Mason in all of the lodges throughout the world. I think that would be pretty incredible because I love Freemasonry. I love all the wonderful, wonderful blessings that I've been learning along the way, of which I'm going to teach you. So, get yourself caught up with all the episodes that I've done thus far, and some of the start to the ultimately, which will be thousands of videos just on a Masonic dictionary or glossary of terms, however you want to state that. You're gonna learn a lot, dude. Like it or not, you're gonna learn a lot. So that's something I'm proud of, that I'm able to educate people and really help you to understand Masonry and what it means to be a Freemason and what we do and, you know, what we learn and why we call ourselves proud Freemason. I am that I am, but I actor, celebrity host, all kinds of blessings. I've been a public speaker and all kinds of stuff. Along the way, I've been a musician in my life and everything, you know what I mean? But I'm proud to be a Freemason, and that's something I'll be for the rest of my life. And I love you all. Now, if there's one thing that I could leave you with in this world as pearls of wisdom, you know what I mean? It's everything within my show here, God Bless Freemasonry, which is the quantum mechanics of enlightenment and Freemasonry. So you will also not only be learning everything that we learn as Freemasons, you will also be learning other various religious texts and so on. Like I've mentioned in the very beginning, I will be doing a complete breakdown of all of them that I can find. But like the Tao Te Ching, for one, Bala Su, love him, and commentary and breaking it down and explaining to you what each verse means. And like I've said before, there's 81 verses, so there's going to be over 81 videos just on the Tao Te Ching alone. I do have a few Masonic books, and I'm gaining more along the way. I want all the books I can find. signed and everything, right? And I love that I'm getting little Masonic gifts from brothers throughout the world. Like I got the working tools of Freemasonry tarot deck, and I love those. And the 10 centenary jewel, which is to celebrate 300 years of Masonry, which is not to say that Freemasonry is only 300 years, but the Grand Lodge, the very first Grand Lodge of Freemasonry, was founded 300 years ago. Masonry itself goes back even further than that. And when you finish watching all of the videos in this series, say a couple of years down the road or whatever it is that I decide to do the last one, right, you will learn a whole lot more and understand how far that goes back. Now, the very first, there's, a couple million years old as far as having a setting mall, and like the first square and compass kind of deal, you're looking at in the years of like 1500, I think it was 1507, for the Ballbridge Square. And that's in a museum in Ireland, and I love them. I actually want a copy of that really bad. It comes in a frame and everything, and it's a copy. I really, really want one, but I want it as a gift. I want all the Masonic little gifts that I can have, because Masonry is a gift to me. So I want all the little Masonic things that I can get. I want to have a huge museum in the end full of everything Masonic. I think that'd be outstanding. And I can't wait to share with you all the little gifts that I receive along the way throughout my little Masonic blessing, which is my Masonic path in life, my Masonic journey. And each little thing, I want to give all of those brothers their due credit. Like the cards and the jewel. I've done a video review, whatever. Excuse me, to say thank you to each brother that has given me the gift. And I will do that for everyone. If you want to give me something Masonic, you don't even have to be a Mason. Like say you found something or it's been, passed down or whatever it is, like if you want to give me a gift that's Masonic, oh, please do, and I will give you a special shout out. I will give you an episode, a video here of, just a thank you and, how grateful I am, and to share that with the world of how grateful I am and, oh, thank you so much. So I will call you out personally. And so this is some of which will in the end being more or less along the line of a part one for why I'm a proud Freemason. And stay tuned, because there's not only just a whole bunch more, but I will also share with you, like I had stated, what brought me to Freemasonry, because I said that was a story on its own. And I'm trying to keep all of these videos at a smaller time. Like this one's about 29 minutes so far, right? So I'm trying to keep them all. I think the longest I've had was like 33 minutes in video time, which is like a cassette tape, you know what I mean? Like it's not actually 33 minutes. So I'm trying to keep them, kind of short. I hope you all have a wonderful day today. And if you really want to see in clarity my ancient arms here, which I have in a keychain, it's all I have. I have a relative that has more about my family's ancestry on my father's side. I was told that she had to pay for it, So if I want anything, I need to pay for it and I need to do the work myself. That's not really a Masonic thing to do when you're going to be that kind of rude. But we won't get into that because not all of my family or everyone's family is that of a good person or living a God realized life or whatever. When it comes to your family, family's very important with Freemasonry. Family becomes more important than Freemasonry. And you'll understand that if you become a Mason or if you watch these videos. Family is more important than Freemasonry. Family is more. Freemasonry will always take a back seat. You know, if there's something wrong, you go and you tend to your family. You know, and if your family needs help, you know, we'll be there for you. Now, for me, I'm trying not to ask for help in my down moment here in life, you know. Like my relationship for the last 11 years has come to an end, and I'm now having to pick up my life and find a new place to live and so on, right? So I'm trying not to ask for help, you know. Like I understood that, you know, like Masonic hardship or whatever, you know, I could get like $100 a day and I could at least go and stay in a motel room and, you know, until I can get on my feet again, that kind of a deal, and they would help me out. But I was like, dude, man, I mean, like, I just can't ask for help. And who's gonna want to go and live in a hotel room when you've got so much to think about and do, and you know, you need to find a place to stay that's permanent versus like, oh, I'm staying in a motel room. You know what I mean? So I'm not asking for help. I'd appreciate it, but still, life can be hard sometimes. You know, there's moments where, you know, you're doing great in life, you know, and you're doing all kinds of good stuff with your life and accomplishing many things, but oops, something happens and you get knocked down a little bit, you know. So it's not only a matter of picking yourself up and dusting yourself off, but when you're a Mason, you can count on your brothers. I just didn't want to say anything and have to count on mine. My bad. But life is a blessing. Life is a gift, as well as Freemasonry is a blessing and a gift, not only to me, but to the entire planet as a whole and all of mankind and education and, you know, medically and everything. It's a gift. And over time with this series, you'll understand. So watch all of the episodes, share them with your friends and your family, and you know, if you want to, in the end, say more slam or something on masonry, make sure you watch all of the videos that I do, especially when I complete the more or less like a Masonic dictionary or a glossary of terms, however you want to state that. Watch all of those too, you know. And everything that I'm posting under the God Bless Freemasonry, Quantum Mechanics of Enlightenment, and Freemasonry, because I will be covering, you know, all kinds of religious texts and everything, but giving my point of view as a Mason and as a person and, you know, so on. Um, what was I going to say, dude? Um, sorry. It's like just about 6 in the morning. I haven't slept yet, and there you go. Um, I'm proud. I'm really proud to be a Mason. I'm proud of all of the brothers in our, you know, in the history of our craft, you know, and all the wonderful, wonderful things that they've done and who they are and their brilliant minds and the connections that we have together. Like I'm connected as a brother to Beethoven, and I love Beethoven. The Moonlight Sonata is one of the most amazing pieces you can hear, and it's so full of emotion. Well, that's from a Mason, you know. Um, I'm proud of Masonry. And what brought me to Masonry also has something to do with somebody who wasn't even a Mason. or even old enough to become one. So stay tuned for that. God bless you. God bless Freemasonry. I don't think the world would be a very happy place. Not that we're not, but I don't think the world would be a happy place if it wasn't for Freemasonry. I think the world would be in a whole lot worse off of the condition had it not been for Freemasonry. I think the world needs Freemasonry and Freemason. And you'll understand why once you watch all of the videos in my show. God bless Freemasonry. Namaste.